My role is Ramsar Site Coordinator to help coordinate the land manager, the traditional owners, the landowner, and work on how we best pool all of our resources to protect the values that this Ramsar site is known for. So this site is renowned for its unique wetland types and the unique hydrology that drives those wetland types. Over 700 hectares of freshwater wetlands of the Long Swamp complex, nationally threatened species that are basing themselves here out of this Discovery Bay Ramsar site. Culturally, this land has a continuing connection to the Gunditjmara people. So the Ramsar site management for Glenelg Estuary Discovery Bay is an EC5 project funded by the Victorian Government. The project aims to 4 levels really. It is about coordination of those partner agencies. It is also about creating a knowledge base around the site values here, and that involves us monitoring those values that the Ramsar site is listed for and ensuring that we can report back to the Australian Government that those site values are maintained, and if there are any changes to the direction of that monitoring data, that we inform them and work out a plan to address those threats. Funding also is directed at what we call management effectiveness monitoring. So that's where we go in specifically and look at our effect on weed control in this example, and also we're looking at filling in a knowledge gap around groundwater use and how groundwater is interacting with this site. The 4th component of the program is around works, such as the Beach Road elevation project, the Eel Creek culvert, the weed and pest plant and animal treatment control program, as well as working with adjoining landholders on conservation works to protect Ramsar-like values that are present on their private property. Importantly though, this site wouldn't exist without the impressive support of the local community from Nelson and Portland, who absolutely love the value that this site brings to them.
The estuary is magnificent wetland, and any day you come down here there are migratory birds from all over the world. It's a bird watcher's paradise, and canoeists, fishers, even just sightseers love to see the expanse of water, hear the surf and just revel in the beautiful environment.
Across Discovery Bay and Lower Glenelg, we've got a range of pest animal programs. One that's currently operating at the moment along 50 odd kilometres of beach is a fox baiting program. Now that's targeting that European fox. Discovery Bay is home to around 3,000 to 4,000 sandling. Sandling is a migratory shorebird that are using Discovery Bay Beach at this time of year quite heavily to feed and put themselves in their best healthy position to get across to the Arctic to breed, which is a mammoth journey for them. The intention of the sandling tracking project is to learn more about how sandling utilise the beach and the dune field habitats that we've got here. So the sandling tracking project is using technology to fit a few of them with a small Bluetooth enabled GPS tracker. So that data tells us where they've been using the beach. Importantly, this season and last season we've been able to confirm that sandling use a different part of the beach at night time compared to what we had previously thought they would have used. Behind me is the Glenelg Estuary, Bukhara. Now it has a unique nature in that it rises and falls with the tides when the estuary is open. But when the estuary is closed, it starts rising slowly with infill water coming down from the catchment or coming in from groundwater. What that means is any fixed infrastructure on the edges of that estuary can get inundated with the estuary water level, and that causes a problem for the users. We're looking to take as much of that fixed infrastructure out of the water, out of where the estuary dynamics do their thing. The idea with taking the infrastructure out of the estuary and taking those fixed jetties out is to replace them with floating structures that move, rise and fall with the tides and move and fall with the rising estuary water levels.
Every now and again, when the river blocks to the sea, the river rises and floods a portion of the road out to the estuary car park. We then have to encounter signs that say road closed due to water over road.
The Beach Road project is to try and raise the level of the road so that the estuary can rise and fall and not flood the public access to the estuary car parks.
The locals are thrilled to think that we can now come and go whenever we please on this road to the estuary.
Partnerships with particularly organisations like the Glenelg CMA is fantastic for the community of Victoria. Being able to put in infrastructure that's going to allow access to this site all year round is fantastic for the Ramsar site. It's going to allow a lot more tourism to be able to access what we do have here and enjoy some of the very unique wildlife and ecosystems that are available.
There's always challenges, I think, every day. Being mindful of the environmental and cultural heritage significance of the site, just ensuring that we don't do any adverse effects on the environment is always a huge challenge of mine. Having the right messaging for your employees so that they understand what our line is, like cultural heritage inductions, and Gavin explaining the importance of the wetland and whatnot. I'm proud of what the guys have done because they've really taken on board all of that information, and they've made it their own, so that's been a real positive.
The Eel Creek drains about 700 hectares of freshwater wetland. What we have here at Eel Creek, or what we had, was a failed culvert. The culvert had collapsed in the middle and sunken into the estuary muds and was causing a fish barrier. It didn't allow estuary fish to get into freshwater habitats for breeding and for their life cycle needs. So what we've done is replace that with a beautifully engineered, fish-friendly culvert, if you like. It's got internal baffles that divert the water around to create enough turbulence for our small-bodied native fish to easily pass through it. We've undertaken a number of other surveys around native ecology of the native fish. Because we found a number of different sizes of fish, we were able to deduce then that we had a couple of different years of successful breeding. That tells us that the estuary management and how it's being managed now, with allowing the estuary to do its rising and falling naturally, is helping to protect those species into the future, because we've got young fish recruiting now. And we're seeing more and more of those coming through this location now, and that's the hope of this project.